Lord and stop balking. We taking down these demons, start walking. We need a plan of action, stop talking. We need a plan of action.
What's the thing you've been most passionate about? The candidates, the parties? What if all of it was just to draw passion out of you? What if it was all just a show, just to bring the passion out of you? No real outcome, no real change, but just passion. What if that's the case? What if this is the psyop? Two candidates. Let's talk about Obama and Trump.
Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, New Hampshire. I love you back. Thank you. And your votes, you made it clear that at this moment, in this election, there is something happening in America. There is something happening when men and women in Des Moines and Davenport, in Lebanon and Concord, come out in the snows of January to wait in lines that stretch block after block because they believe in what this country can be. There is something happening. There's something happening when Americans who are young in age and in spirit, who've never participated in politics before, turn out in numbers we have never seen because they know in their hearts that this time must be different. There's something happening when people vote not just for party that they belong to, but the votes, the hopes that they hold in common. That whether we are rich or poor, black or white, Latino or Asian, whether we hail from Iowa or New Hampshire, Nevada or South Carolina, we are ready to take this country in a fundamentally new direction. That's what's happening in America right now. Change is what's happening in America.
Barack Obama was an incredible figure at the time. I remember just briefly going back in history, thinking about it. Obama was speaking to the crowd. It was close to the presidency, close to time to vote. And Obama was speaking to the crowd, and he was crying because a family member had passed. And they panned the crowd, and the amount of people that was sobbing, literally sobbing, was incredible. He had a way with people. He had a way of touching the soul of people, especially Black Americans. And Black Americans, you can't really say anything bad about Obama. If you say something bad about Obama, they coming for you, especially on social media. Online, if you say something bad about Barack Obama and you're Black, you going to get it. They coming at you. And that's because Barack Obama was that Messiah figure. He was one of the biggest Messiah figures in the history of politics, in the history of this country, in the history of this world, actually.
It's what allows us to pursue our individual dreams and yet still come together as one American family. E pluribus unum, out of many, one.
Your father. What is that referencing?
Well, you know, I have a mixed up background. First thing people ask me is, where'd you get that funny name? Barack Obama. Although you had a top 10 list, but you missed a couple.
Yeah, ways to mispronounce Barack Obama.
I mean, there was Alabama and Yo Mama. My father was from Kenya, from Africa. And he was part of that first generation of students that came to study in the United States. And he met my mother, who was from Kansas. And so what the book references is sort of what his ambitions were coming to this country and some of the disappointments he went through and sort of the difficult times that my parents went through as people of different races and backgrounds and cultures?
When you
You, all of you who are here tonight, all who put so much heart and soul and work into this campaign, you can be the new majority who can lead this nation out of a long political darkness. Democrats, independents, and Republicans who are tired of the division and distraction that has clouded Washington, who know that we can disagree without being disagreeable, who understand that if we mobilize our voices to challenge the money and influence that stood in our way and challenge ourselves.
He was a huge messiah figure. And we didn't think critically with Obama. We never did. When somebody would criticize him, especially on the right, we would dismiss it immediately. We just fell in line. And we allowed him to do some things. And I'm going to go over those things right now. And those things that he did was he bailed out the banks. And when he bailed out the banks, he gave them enough money to give out bonuses to the executives. And they did. They really did. They gave out bonuses to the executive. Government money they end up giving out bonuses with. So I think they were salivating, knowing Barack Obama would capitulate to that. So he bailed out the banks. The defense industry. All he did was prop up the defense industry. Weapons, arms, and he used them. 7 different situations that he bombed. One of them was Libya. And those who know me and those who are online with me have seen me or saw me talking about it. You've read it. The Gaddafi situation was one of the worst in history. So these are the things that Obama did, but we, as African Americans, especially as Democrats, but as African American Democrats, did not ever listen to the criticism from the right or from even our own. When we criticized them, we got lambasted and called names like Republican. So,
Be nice.
what did that bring along?
Be nice.
It brought Trump
You know,
about.
they used to say that with
Trump was that
Hitler,
guy
always go,
who came down to And the reason why is because they had just come off of Barack Obama, where all black people were accepting every single thing that he did. Now that Trump is in office, what do you expect that they're going to do? They're going to have that Messiah complex, just like you had your Messiah complex. He said middle finger to the establishment, drain the swamp. He's doing none of it, but that's what he said. So the whole act of it, just like the act of Obama, got you captured. It has you captured, right? I think, this is my personal opinion, I think all of it was a psyop designed by the CIA to actually divide and get Americans warring and fighting. The passion is the point. That you become passionate about these politicians instead of actually critical thinking and just looking at every single thing that one does and look at it critically. You dismiss anything that you think or somebody might think is bad, and you allow them to do it. Like Obama with the Espionage Act, he prosecuted more whistleblowers than all the other presidents before him combined. Now, that's really not critical thinking if you think that that wasn't bad. He repealed some of the drone laws. And in fact, some of the drone laws says that kind of you can interpret them to say that you can bomb an American.
people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee. And she now has to go home to a mother who's a big Trump fan. Her mother's watching. I'm sorry. I said he, and it's a she. I'm sorry. Some guy that I'd never heard of. John James, is he a congressman, this guy? He said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start the impeachment of Donald Trump. What the hell did I do? Here we go again. They want to impeach me.
He's an incredible politician. I would say he's probably the top. Why? Because he's the biggest actor. He's the one that's programmed the best. He's magnificent at bringing out emotion. And a lot of times that emotion is anger. Yeah, just anger. But that allows for you, Trump supporters, to not think critically. Anger shuts down. Anger shuts down your critical thinking abilities. Let's take this for example. Trump, right now, is making or has collected $11.6 billion in cryptocurrency since he's been in office. Now, $11.6 billion in cryptocurrency. Nobody on the right is saying anything. The left's been screaming it from the mountaintops. I started to tune it out too, because I started to understand that everybody's going for the bag. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but everybody's going for the bag. If you saw at the end of the Biden administration, the amount of people securing the bag, it was unbelievable. Gold bars and things like that, falling off trucks, literally falling off trucks. So, but do you think critically? If you really think that he collected $11.6 billion in cryptocurrency and no one's asking anything of him, I think you've shut down your critical thinking skills again. Of course he has. And some of the cryptocurrency that he collected, some of them were like quid pro quo for terminating investigations, getting them out, get it out of there. I'll give you this and I'll give you that. And that's pretty much Trump in a nutshell. Before he became president again, he acquired oil fields in Venezuela. The only person standing in between him and those oil fields was Maduro. And we captured Maduro. You see, it's all a show and a money grab. And the person that's put on the most incredible show and did the most as far as grabbing the money is Trump. Donald Trump and Barack Obama means a lot to you, but I want you to put all of your biases aside. Just put them all aside for a second. And just think about the drone laws that were repealed or put in place. Just think about those. When Barack Obama bombed an American citizen, it opened up the door for it to be interpreted that you could bomb.
Machines could withstand Ukrainian air power. However, what they encountered was not safety, but a hell remotely controlled by our UAV operators. During this operation, the 414th UAV Brigade, Birds of Magyar, received orders to intercept and thwart the enemy's advance. Combat FPV units were immediately deployed, with experienced operators ready to carry out multi-pronged attacks to ascertain the enemy's position and movement patterns. From the air, the enemy lines were clearly visible, marching across the open area without adequate cover. One by one,
citizens on American soil. So now we have Trump coming along with the AI generation and the surveillance generation with Palantir, and they're implementing laws or trying to implement laws throughout the United States of curbing speech. the next thing is going to be to curb behavior. So, my conclusion is this is all kayfabe. It's Blackjack Mulligan against Ric Flair. It's designed to get you emotional, to get you upset or passionate, make you loyal to Rick or Blackjack. That's the way that this system is designed. It's designed to get you passionate, make you loyal, make you question your neighbor rather than to question the man at the top. Because these two messiah figures, Obama and Trump, has you captivated on both sides, not critically thinking anything. You're going to let this snowball into a capture where we're not going to have many rights at all. And you're not going to question it. And there's certain things that they're doing and putting in place to make you fall right in line. And food is one of them. And that's another topic that I'm going to get into next after I finish this whole China rise. I just wanted to do this one just because I get into these conversations online with people who always throw Obama back at me. Don't throw Obama at me. Trust me, I'm not in love with politicians. I critically analyze every single one of them. And right now, it's time to critically analyze what's happening. And I'm not talking just about the war. I'm talking about what's going on with the containers at the port. We're at the lowest that we've been as far as our herd and our cattle and food supply in the beef industry. We're at the lowest point that we've been in since the 1930s. Right? We have serious crop and food concerns, aerosol spray in the air that's keeping the sun, blocking out the sun. You all think it's a conspiracy. It's actually, they had a hearing on it the other day. So we have to wake up and understand that this is kayfabe. This is not real. We have to understand that Blackjack and Rick is going to go back to McMahon or whomever the promoter is and get a paycheck. They're putting on for the promoter. And once we realize that both of those guys are putting on for the promoter and making sure that the act is a really good act, it's a great act to make you emotional, passionate, loyal, and do everything that your guy wants you to do. So, yes, that was the entire point of this Barack Obama and Trump analysis. It's a psyop design for you to be passionate every day and argue on the internet back and forth. But they're on the same team, getting paid by the same promoter. And that promoter is the CIA.